Hello there, this is Victor Santana for September 8th, Monday. And let's take a look at the markets real quick, looking at the daily chart here. And we're going to start off with the strongest of the indices here, which today were the QQQs. As you can see, it's up 0.19% up here. So we did have an small update here. We're still trading within this channel here. So let's go ahead and put this channel here so we could all see that we are in a channel. See, we're right in this channel here. Right here. So we're just bouncing along. Looking at the CCI here, down here, you could see we are now approaching the 100 range by reading this right here, 97. So we're not quite above it. But it seems like we are getting some kind of bearish divergence forming here. If I could draw this here, let's see here, not very good. This up here, a little higher. As you could see, it appears that we're having some kind of little divergence here. So we might be getting a move back down pretty soon. So meanwhile, just keep an eye on it and see where that takes us. Next leading one was the Russell's 2000, and this one here is just starting to form a flag pattern here, as you could see. The other one here, see, it's also a channel, and this one just came from the lows down here, so this would be an entry to go up in this area right up here, go long, because we are bouncing away from the negative 100. Plus we got the green bar on the MACD histogram right here on this. So this would be to consider go long until we get up to the 100 to take some profits. Next one down is the Dow, and this one's also trading kind of flat as well. So we're just going to go ahead and put a channel here, as you could see, just trading sideways the last few days. Now, however, if you look, it is now at 119. It's above the 100 range here. So chances are we might get a little pullback, maybe back down to the bottom of this channel. So we'll just have to wait and see which way it wants to go. And next is the SPY, the S&P 500. And this one also is forming a channel up at the upper end as well. You could see. So it could be consolidating, getting ready for the next move up. And this one is neutral. It's at 29. So it's right between the 100 and negative 100. So here there's no action. So we'll just pass on that. Okay, now what we're going to do is now go through the sectors real quick. Something new. And we're going to go through the strongest sectors. Right now it's natural gas, UNG. As you can see, it had a nice up day of 1.83%. However, it's still trading below the 200. And just scroll back, see? So it's still in the bear side of the fence, you might say. So if anything, we would want to be shorting this until it can get back above here. See, you have the 50-day moving average pointing downward as well. So even though it had a nice bounce, it is still being bearish. Now, the other side of the coin, we have biotech, IBB. This one did pretty good, 0.9% compared to the indices being flat. And you could see here, it is now bouncing away from the negative 100. We do have a positive bar move, so this could be a a pivot point. So what we're going to do is, if it could trade up higher above this, then this will be a good candidate to go long. Right there, see, there we go. Maybe we could have double top right up in this range here. So we'll just wait and see, but we do have a good pivot point here. Moving over, next we have copper. Copper here, as you can see, is kind of been trading downward through this channel. So it's going to have to break above this to really consider an uptrend. We do have an upward here, so it's forming like a wedge down here, and currently in the oversold area, so it might hit resistance right up in this zone. So we'll just be patient and wait. The next one positive was the technology sector, which is pretty much trades in sync with the QQQs. So we're just going to put this here. You could see we have consolidation on the upper end, and now it is above the 100 level. It's reading 108. We do, just like with the Qs, seeing a divergence forming here. So we're just going to put this little guy here as a potential divergence. So got to be concerned about that, just to watch it. Maybe it might trade back down to the 20-day moving average here. Moving on down, semiconductors edged out a small little gain also, 0.08, pretty flat. One thing here, notice the inverse hammer formation here forming, plus we see a divergence here also. So this might be pulling back until we get a histogram going downward, and this may be coming down over here. So for those that like to take extra risk, being quick, consider entering here to go short to possible target, maybe down here in this area here at 51.29. All right, so there's a food for thought. Another one that traded green today was the index of the IPOs, ticker symbol FPX, and this one was up 0.06, and this one is still between in the CCI, between the 100 and negative 100, so no trade recommendations. Going next is the financials, XLF. This one has reached at the 100 zone, as you can see there, and looks like we're having also a divergence forming here, right there, bearish. So we might get a pullback to back to the 20. And then finally we have the health sector, and this one here is up 0.02, pretty flat. Not much consolidation. It just started out here and between the two lines here, so it's neutral as far as putting any trades. And then quickly we're just going to go into the negative ones here. We're going to be focusing here. We're looking at the, what is this one? This is, oh yeah, the industrials. And this one here, you could see it is also forming a flag pattern upper end. See, here's your flag, and this is overbought, so we'll just have to wait until we get a nice signal. And we do have the 20 coming up to support here, so it may break out higher. IYR, that one was a little down today too, which is the real estate. And this one here, you could kind of argue it is also in a wedge channel, or excuse me, in a channel, kind of a little larger channel. We are bouncing on the top of the CCI line here, so we'll just wait for a pullback. Housing, home builders, that is. You can see here we also kind of have a downward sloping channel building up, and this is pointing up to the CCI. We did have a bullish divergence at the bottom end of it, so let's just put that there so we can see right there, and see if I bring it down. There we go. And sure enough, we, based on this bar right here, on this one here, it's trading right in there. So this one's going to be tricky. It may be breaking out. See, here's where our entry point would be if it get above that. But then you also have the 200 right here. So it may trade right over it, or it could form resistance, but we'll see. It is under the 200, so best just to stay away and wait for the actual trend to start. Now we're looking at the retail, and here retail we also have kind of a formation here. See, channel forming. We are not below, so we'll skip on that. And now we're transportation. Now this one has been doing pretty good. See how it's been going up. Now the bad thing is, if you look at the CCI, you do have a divergence forming here. However, if the trend is strong, the divergence will not come to fruition in terms of pulling back far enough. It might be just a small pullback and then break out higher. I've seen that happen on a strong trend, so it's hard to say. So for now, we'll just have to keep an eye on this. It did have a recent breakout from this area here. So if we do get a pullback, it might be in this zone with this 20 coming up here as support. So that might be a good entry. Now let's go to the next one here, materials. And this one here, we kind of have an up sloping wedge flag pattern, and it's bouncing around between the two lines on the CCI, so we'll just pass on that. Good old US oil. So what do we got here? Okay, I see we're under the 200, so that's bearish, and we're now down oversold. So what kind of bounce can we get? Well, let's see here. We put a trend line. We may be able to get a bounce back up to here, which might be where the 20 is coming up. So I would rather short the rallies on this one for now. Okay, so let's look at utilities. Utilities had a down day, but look at, it's been having a nice strong move up, and it's oversold, and now it's between the CCI line, so we'll just pass on that. Next is the global S&P Global 100 index, and this one's oversold, which is good. We're above the 200, which is good. So this one here, plus we're getting nice support, if you can see here on this channel right there. So we're getting nice support in this zone. So this one I would look into going long. Let's see if we're going to see any resistance here. Okay, what I see here, we might be able to get a nice gap fill up in this area here, or even trade as high as up here. So okay, so this is a good one to keep an eye on. So moving on, precious metals. We have a nice little hammer on the bottom. However, it's below the 200, and this is the under negative 100. Where can it bounce to? Well, it's going to have difficulty trading up in this range here, so we'll just go ahead and pass on that. Let's look at silver. Pretty much the same story. Silver is just getting beaten down more and more. Look at that long trend line coming down. Pretty much like with the 18 or the 20 moving average down here, holding it as a resistance. So we'll just pass until we get better clarification from that. Here's the overall precious metals. Same story here, kind of same story as the silver. It's just continuing down. Let me just get this channel so you could see. So it's just bouncing around below the 200, which is the red line. Okay, and let's see here, we got a few more to go. All right, the BRIC, which stands for Brazil, Russia, India, and China. This one's been doing pretty good, going up, just having to pull back. And still, we don't have a setup, so we'll just pass on that. Looking at gold, gold continue to disappoint people here because inflation's just not showing up. So this gold is just not holding on for now. So we could see this channel here. We do have probably a double bottom coming up right over here in this zone. So we'll just have to keep an eye on it and see. Keep in mind it's below the 200, so it's in the bear territory. The 50 has not crossed under the 200, so this could be just a whipsaw to scare the people out before it makes the next move up. So we'll just have to keep an eye on that. Emerging markets, this one has grinded up higher, but just recently is pulling back. No setup down here, so we'll skip that. Looking at XLE, which is the energy sector. Let's see where it's coming from. Well, it's coming up from an uptrend, and now it's kind of pulling back. And you can see here, it is oversold down in this area. Now, is it going to come down to the 200? Well, maybe. We could be coming down in this area here, or let's pull this over here too, in this area as well, which maybe you could extend that all the way over here where you had resistance, and then breakout, and now support, and support. So we have these two zones we could look at. Let's just zoom in, and again, it's oversold above the 200. So what we could do is look for a positive tick, which we did get one here, which would give us a reason to go long here. But since now it's traded lower, we'll wait for the next tick up. Now looking at the miners, as far as it's breaking down, good chance it's going to get down to the 200. I could almost see that coming right there. See how it's coming? It's going to be support. It's down here at this level. Maybe we'll get a signal to consider to go long. For now, we'll just wait. And that's pretty much it. Went through it real quick. Try to not take too long. So just keep these in mind. And until the next video, take care and trade well. Bye now.